Good, happy Thursday evening, June 2nd, 2022. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Thursday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Thursday evening, so let's get started right now. First up, information sought about vehicles spotted near Concord Trail on day couple disappeared. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Our main event tonight, you see multiple lines, draft passing. Investigators want you to take a good look at these images. The Attorney General's office says they show what appears to be a dark green Toyota RAV4 with a model year between 2006 and 2012.
And importantly, was parked at the Marsh Loop Trailhead on Portsmouth Road in Concord on Monday, April 18th of 2022.
That's the same area where the bodies of Stephen and Wendy Reed were discovered just days later. Right now, officials say they have no reason to believe the SUV is connected to a suspect.
The import of the ask today is specifically check another box in terms of who was out there that day and what they heard or saw or where they traveled that day.
In another effort to track down the SUV, detectives are searching a database of all similar vehicles and contacting their owners.
The attempt is just to identify who was in this vehicle and identify where they were and what they were doing that day as we continue to account for anyone who was in the area.
Concord police have received more than 200 tips about the double homicide. The chief says he remains optimistic it will be solved.
The community should be confident that we are making this the highest priority. We have a core group of investigators that are solely devoting all of their efforts on this particular case.
Now, just a few weeks ago, the Attorney General's office released a sketch of a person of interest in this case. Today, officials say they do not believe that person of interest and this SUV are connected. However, they also say there are no new updates on who that person of interest may be. Reporting live in Concord, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Suspicious death in Windham under investigation. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
For over 25 years, Bellegarde has paved the way in the hardscapes industry, providing customers with
It's a little weird to be this close to home.
West Shore Road has been blocked off all day while several agencies investigate what the AG's office describes as a suspicious death. Police got the call around 7:30 this morning from a construction crew about a body found by a porta-potty near Woodview Road, right next to Canopy Lake. Cole Florence tells News 9 he was heading to school this morning when he saw all of the police tape.
It was the weirdest thing. We all thought it was construction, but ended up being a crime scene.
Kathy Suter has lived in the area for almost 30 years. She says this whole situation is unnerving.
It's sad, actually. Say a prayer as you go by and say, let's hope that... I don't know what you can hope for. There's nothing you can hope for. You can't hope that it was someone you didn't know, because that's awful. Of course you don't hope that it's someone you know, so it's all awful.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire State Representative charged with DWI. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
This could be the moment we've been waiting for, the chance to feel alive.
A state representative is facing a DWI charge after being arrested last week. Representative Erica Leon, the vice chairwoman of the Health and Human Services Committee in the House, was arrested last Thursday in Derry. Police were dispatched after receiving reports of a gray Toyota driving erratically. Officers took Leon into custody. She was released on personal recognizance. The representative provided a statement to News 9 saying, quote, "I've retained attorney Ryan Russman and I look forward to resolving this case with a positive outcome."
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Fans ready as Celtics prepare to take on the Warriors in NBA Finals. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Hi. A better internet experience is finally here. With Fidium Fiber Internet, you get ultra-fast gig speeds on a dedicated...
All right, Jonathan, here we go. We're coming to you live right now inside of the Chase Center in San Francisco, California, where 4 hours from now, the 17-time NBA champion Boston Celtics will be tipping it off against the 6-time NBA champion Golden State Warriors. Now, outside of the arena earlier today, we caught a glimpse of the grand prize. There it is right there, the NBA Finals trophy. The Celtics will try to take it home for the first time since 2008, and frankly, it's going to be a challenge. The Warriors have been here before. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, they've all won 3. No one on the Celtics has even been to the finals. But this team is confident, and they should be, after the tough road they've taken to get to this point.
Man, we win in game 1. We're going to set the tone tonight. Let them know we in here. We're here.
It's going to be tough, boy. It's going to be tough. Boston's got some great defense, you know, but hey, if we play our game, we're going to win.
And that's the key right there. If the Warriors play to their ceiling, they are really hard to beat, especially on their home court where they have not lost yet this postseason. It should be a great game and a great series. Can't wait for all of it, and we'll be bringing you much more live from San Francisco. For now, reporting live inside the Chase Center, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9 Sports.
Thanks, Mike. Definitely enjoy the game out there tonight. Now from the Bay Area to back east, our Steve Batari is live in Boston. Steve, a few hours away from tip-off. What's the vibe out there like with the fans?
Yeah, Jonathan, look, game 1 is 2,000 miles away from us here outside of the TD Garden, but, you know, the fans around here are getting ready, and the bars nearby are pumped about this, too. It's because nobody does championship sports like the city of Boston. In fact, we're getting pretty used to it around here with all the different teams. This time, it is the Celtics' turn. Fans getting ready for what they're calling a wild few weeks of basketball. They are expecting crowds down here tonight outside the Garden. Saw BPD doing checks around the neighborhood bars. Fans say tonight will be fun, but it's next week that's going to be even crazier. That's when the Celtics are back home.
How do I describe Boston sports fans? Crazy. They're crazy, man. They're all nuts. I'm not even from Boston. I'm from Springfield. But they are out of their minds.
And so you think tonight's going to be pretty wild?
It's going to be even wilder if they win.
We'll say we did see a Golden State fan here. Notably, he was covering up his T-shirt with a sweatshirt, so the Boston fans didn't see that. There is a public viewing party here tonight outside of Faneuil Hall for the fans for Game 1. And, of course, we'll be covering it every step of the way for you. Live here in Boston tonight, Steve Botari, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Big game tonight. Let's go Celtics. New Hampshire AG closes investigation into use of force at men's prison. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Hi. A better internet experience is finally here. With Fidium Fiber Internet, you get ultra-fast gig speeds on a dedicated...
Breaking news at the state men's prison in Concord. The Attorney General's office has closed its investigation into the use of force there. Officials say there is not sufficient evidence to prove any corrections officers committed any crimes and that no officer will be charged. Investigation started in February of 2021, looking into 11 officers for 1 or more incidents and an additional 3 officers for their documentation of incidents.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Cases continue to be delayed in New Hampshire because of shortage of court-appointed lawyers. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Your property demands equipment with more reliability built in. Kubota equipment is ready to get the job done right. Bring home the Kubota L2501 tractor for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months.
Where best meets second to none. MD.
Well, Tom, Monica, we listened in on a few cases today in Merrimack County Superior Court that had to be delayed because the defendants didn't have an attorney just yet. The Office of the Judicial Counsel says it currently has 998 cases waiting to be assigned a public defender. That number has dropped since this crisis began at the end of last year, according to Sarah Blodgett, the executive director of the Judicial Council. She says the public defender's office has been able to take 1,300 cases off hold since December, and it's not as easy as just handing out cases to attorneys as they come in.
They are contractually limited to 70 cases per attorney. And so it's not until their current caseload can get resolved that they're able to take on some of those cases that are currently on hold.
$2.3 million was approved back in March to give public defenders a pay boost. Blodgett says that's helped. Adding, the public defender's office will be hiring 19 new attorneys set to start at the end of August. And once they get up to speed, they hope that will provide some relief. Live in the studio, Marissa Tansino, WMUR News Now.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Lucky to be alive. Driver escapes fiery crash that sent truck off bridge and onto road below. Let's take a listen to that video from KCCI Des Moines 8 News.
Hi. A better internet experience is finally here. With Fidium Fiber Internet, you get ultra-fast gig speeds on a dedicated...
Steve and Stacey, we caught up with the driver as he was walking away from his truck, and even he was shaking his head in disbelief that he survived.
At this battered and burned up truck, you might naturally wonder how it got here. Sideways on 36th Street, below an interstate overpass. But then there's a little clue. The twisted metal barrier that usually runs alongside the interstate. Yes, the original crash happened on the interstate, and this truck flew between the two bridges to end up below it.
25 years of working interstates, I've never seen it happen before. They've gone over the top before, but not through the middle of them. Usually that's what those cable barriers do, but he was so heavy, he just sheared them right off.
Frank Baca was driving this truck. He says a blown front tire caused him to hit a cement mixer. That mixer flipped on its side, and his truck slid off the interstate and smashed into a pillar below.
I looked down, and I seen just fire instantly on the bottom. I went to try to open the door, take my seatbelt off. The door wouldn't open, so I busted the driver's glass door out, and reached out and hanging over and unlocked the door or pulled the latch and got out.
His escape was remarkable and certainly a consolation to all the people caught for hours in the backup on I-35. Baco knows he easily could have been killed, and he gets emotional thinking about his fiancée.
Somebody's looking out. Makes you take everything in a different perspective.
DOT engineers checked out the bridge this afternoon. They say it is still structurally sound. We're live tonight in Ankeny. Andrew Mullenbeck, KCCI 8 News, Iowa's news leader.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great evening. Good night and goodbye.